Nothing new that Harry, he lies all the time. We have seen him lying about how he said his father, quote unquote, financially cut him off, literally cut him off. This is exactly what he said when this was not true. We have seen Harry trashing his family with all the porkies, coming out in public and coming up with new excuse. He said that nobody heard him, nobody was there to listen to his problem issues. But we have seen at the same time many videos where he was talking to his brother and to his sister-in-law, Catherine, Princess of Wales. He is someone who is a serial liar, and this is what he has become, especially after Meghan Markle. I want to share with you this video because this interview that you have seen, probably a lot of you have seen in New York, it actually shows how much he can actually lie and how he convinces people to really believe his lies. Let's take a look at this video. But before we play the video frame by frame, if you are someone interested in these topics, consider to subscribe. Most of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel. If you are one of them, consider to subscribe. Meghan and Harry, they were sitting, and this is a clip taken when he said the award function coming out for it was really about going out on a date night, and that is completely a lie. He knew what he was doing. He knew that he was there to bash his family and to accuse them one more time of being racist. This is exactly what he knew, and this is exactly what he came out for. Nevertheless, he called this whole thing a date night, and he lied. Why he lied? Well, we know because he was heckled outside this auditorium. When he was coming inside, people were like, oh, why you are destroying your family? Why you are doing this? So maybe he got some, consciousness in him that said, you know what, Harry, let's call this a date night, not a word function. Harry is talking to this lady, Carrie Kennedy and Meghan Markle. Now, in this video, you will know that Harry, you probably have heard about this already, that Harry was calling it a date night. So how he convinces? Let's take a look at his body position. First of all, he is leaning forward, and that shows that he was very interested to convince or to get approval from people because he is about to lie with a big lie. And then he is actually pointing his hand towards directly to Carrie Kennedy. I think this is what her name. The reason for that is because, again, this person is seeking approval. When you start a conversation or when you bring in something new and then all of a sudden you realize people are not really buying it, that's when you try your best. So from the very beginning, we have seen his body language, his body posture was like leaning forward, not leaning backward or being relaxed. Rather, he was leaning forward. And now he is using his hand, trying his best to convince everybody that what he is saying is true, but it is not. And so first he moved his hand to Carrie Kennedy to convince her. She is not convinced. So now what he does, his look at his hand, it moves towards the audience. Now he's trying to convince the audience. He cannot convince this person, this lady. He is not giving up. And now he is repositioning himself because he knows that nobody is convinced. And now he needs to double down on it. He needs to really do something, really. And this is why you see him repositioning his body. Let's take a look. He almost jumped from his couch and then he sit back in order to reposition himself in a way that would make these people believe his story and buy his story, but nobody's buying. So he's like, yeah, I have to do this and do that, but nothing is working. Now look at him. Now he's leaning backward a little bit. He's like, yeah, I'm trying too hard. Nobody's buying my story. At the same time, what we see is that the lady by his side, his wife, is giggling. And she knows at that point, this guy is completely stupid. He's embarrassing us, embarrassing me by making things up. Because Meghan knows why they came here for, and that is to bash the royal family, not for a date night. And then he goes like, okay, now again, leaning forward because he needs needs approval from Carrie Kennedy. He cannot just, ignore everything and simply, just because the people and the audience and Carrie Kennedy ignored him and didn't buy this, doesn't mean he should give up. He is not giving up. He is again repositioning and he's leaning forward and moving his hand. Now, at this point, he's actually tapping himself. When you see people are doing this, like putting their hand on their thigh, it basically means that this person is telling himself that, yeah, I have to do this. I have to pull it off. I'm lying. I need to pull it off. So I need to tap myself to my consciousness that, hey, I'm the man. I can do it. Come on, do it. Come on, do it. This is exactly what the body position is right now for Harry. Now, he's again moving his hand a little bit and then putting it back on his thigh. Again, tapping himself. He's telling himself, yeah, this is the right thing to do, because he knows by that time that nobody's buying his story, then this is completely nonsense, whatever he's saying. So now he's reassuring himself by tapping him on his thigh that no, people are buying, so I need to keep on doubling down on it. And this is completely coming across as a stupid person. And Meghan, at the same time, his wife is giggling, can't stop giggling at this stupid person. Now, one thing very, very interesting is that now he's putting his hand on his thigh permanently. He's resting a little bit. Now you will see Kerry Kennedy, her body position will change. Kerry Kennedy at this point, she was so embarrassed because remember, this takes effort. Organizing this whole event, it takes effort, a lot of manpower, a lot of money involved. And now she's like, how stupid this guy is. He's calling this a date night? Is he serious, man? What is going on with him? Now she is leaning backward because she is completely embarrassed. And Harry, as I said, he's not giving up. He's leaning forward again and again for approval. Please give me some approval. But Kerry Kennedy is like, no, I'm not giving you any approval because whatever you're saying is just nonsense. And so now she's closing herself with this hand posture. And now she is doubling down on that closing of her body through her body language, which is that she's crossing her legs. Yes, guys, this is the time when this person is completely embarrassed. Crossing this position is when somebody is completely closed. She doesn't want to get involved. She's not giving you any approval. Now, Kerry Kennedy is kind of like leaning forward at this point. Why? Because at that point, Harry was done with his nonsense. And so now she is like, yeah, I can finally relax. Another thing that you notice is that Harry is giving a head nod to Meghan. When Meghan said, thank you for bringing me on this date night, a special date night, he gave a nod. Basically means, I got my approval, some kind of approval. Oh, this girl, she knows me. She rescued me, kind of, right? And so you see the head nod. He's doing it even more. Oh, Meghan, please help me. I'm your little baby. And this is exactly what babies do. They go to their mother and they go like, yeah, can you, mommy, give me a cuddle? This is exactly what he's doing because he's so stressed out with all his lies. Nobody bought it. Kerry Kennedy didn't buy it. Even his wife didn't buy it because she giggled like crazy, insane. And I'll show you in a second what Meghan does. She is so embarrassed with this guy. Now he's, again, as you see, now Meghan is like, oh my God, what a moron this guy is. I married him. Like, she cannot even believe that. Yes, she's happy that she, had trapped him. But nevertheless, at that moment, she was feeling a little bit shy. Like, oh man, what a prat this guy is. I married this guy. Like, this guy doesn't even know how to talk. And then she's like, yeah, man. She giggled and bringing me for the date night, special date night. And she kept on giggling. She was like, oh, this guy is super stupid. Harry, he faked it all. And we know through his body language. Thank you for watching.